Stop blaming God for cycles you keep choosing. You keep praying for change, begging for a breakthrough, waiting on the doors to open, but nothing in your life is shifting. And you've convinced yourself it's because God hasn't moved yet, or the people around you are holding you back. But the truth is, it's your mindset. And until you change it, your life will stay exactly where it is. I remember a time in my life when I was living in a hotel. I got in this big argument, and I went to the car and I was crying because I was living in a hotel with all of my children, my entire family. And I started crying and just looking up at the ceiling and looking at the dashboard, tears running down my face. And I whispered to God, why does this keep happening to me, God? I pay my tithes. I pay my offerings. I'm living right. I'm not clubbing. I'm not wilding out. I'm faithful. I'm faithful to you. I'm faithful to my family. Why is this happening to me? Why am I right back in the same place again? I keep starting over, God. I got new plans. I'm in a new environment. I moved to a different state. But somehow, God, I'm in the same place. Same struggles. Same cycles. I'm still living paycheck to paycheck, broken, confused. And then it hit me. I didn't need a new job. I didn't need a new city. I didn't need a new relationship. I needed a new mindset. Because until your thinking changes, your patterns won't. And see, I want you to listen to me because I'm trying to just tell you something that's going to change your life. Just know this, your life will always move in the direction of your strongest belief, not your prayers. You can pray 10 times a day, not your intentions, not your goals. Many people have hundreds of goals, but it only moves from your beliefs. See, if you believe you're not enough, you keep settling for less. If you believe you're broken, you'll keep attracting people who confirm that belief. That's why I tell people, quit telling people you broke. No, just tell them, look, hey, I'm going through a transitioning period. I'm going through a cash flow problem. See? You see how simple that is? If you believe your past defines you, you'll keep sabotaging your future. If you believe that you will never have nothing, that's what you're gonna attract. See, you're not failing because you lack potential. You're not stuck because God forgot about you. You're stuck because the story in your mind hasn't changed. I want to tell you to confront that story. And that's step number 1. Whose voice told you that you wasn't good enough? Was it a parent? Because nowadays we have parents who speak things over their children, and I tell people all the time, look, there's powers in your words. There's power in your tongue. Parents tell their child, you just like your daddy. You ain't gonna ever be nothing. Some dads tell the son, you just like your mother. You will never be nothing. Who told you you wasn't good enough? I remember as a kid growing up in a church. I mentioned this in my book. I had a leader of the church get up. I was young, about 16 years old, 17 years old. And they proclaimed in front of the church that I wasn't good enough for God. They told the church he ain't saved. They told the church that God didn't touch me. That affected my mindset. That voice that told me that I wasn't good enough when I knew that God had touched me. So I'm asking you a question. Whose voice told you you wasn't good enough? Was it that heartbreak? That bad relationship? Where they told you that nobody else would ever love you? Nobody else would ever want you? Who told you you wasn't good enough? Was it a failure? You gotta learn to fail your way forward. That means that failure is gonna happen. Did that failure tell you wasn't good enough? I want to tell you this. Until you name that source, you'll keep living under their words instead of God's. So a man think, so is he. You have to learn how to rewrite that story. And that's step number 2. See, your mind is like a movie, and you've been watching the same script on repeat. And at some point, you've got to stop letting pain direct the film. You're not broken. You are not too late. You are not too far gone. The story changes when you decide to become the author instead of the victim. You got to live from the new story. And that's step number 3. See, inspiration without action is just spiritual procrastination. See, it's not enough to just want better. There's many people that want better. People living under the bridge, they want better. People that are broken, they all say that they want better. See, it's not enough to just pray for better. It's not enough. There's people every day that's praying for better every day, but that's just not enough. At some point, you've got to move different. And that requires some action. See, you can't step into a new season while replaying an old story. Your identity, it creates cycles. Change one and break the other. See, God didn't call you to repeat. He called you to reset. And you need to know that your past isn't your prison unless you choose to keep the key. And see, a lot of people, you let that go over your head. You let your past issues, your past problems, your past thoughts of yourself, it holds you in prison. See, healing starts when you stop letting pain speak louder than purpose. If this is hitting you right now, it's because something inside of you knows you've been living beneath your calling. That's why I created the mindset quiz. It shows you exactly where you mentally stuck and how to break free. I want you to comment the word mindset below or hit the link and I'll send it straight to you. I want you to know there comes a moment when you've cried enough tears, when you've replayed the pain long enough. And many of you are saying, what do you mean when you are replaying the pain long enough? Well, I mentor a lot of relationships, and those that have been betrayed, they replay the betrayal in their mind for so long, and it holds them hostage. There comes a moment when you've cried enough tears, when you've replayed that pain long enough, when you've been overlooked, rejected, and broken so many times that something inside of you finally says, enough is enough. You cannot walk into this next season still wearing the labels from the last one. You can't heal while rehearsing that hurt. You can't rise if you're still chained to who left you, who lied, and who broke you. This is your crossroads. And in some of you, you keep asking God for a miracle, but you don't even realize the miracle is you. God already gave you the authority to shift your life, but you've been waiting on permission that He's already signed off on. You keep talking about starting over, but God didn't call you to start over. He called you to be transformed. You got to get your breakthrough. I want you to comment right now or say it in your mind. God, I want my breakthrough. Because everything you've been through, every betrayal, every heartbreak, every loss, it wasn't proof that you're broken. No, it was evidence that you're chosen. But God can't release what's next until you release what was. You cannot keep watering dead seasons and expect your life to bloom. I want you to remember this scripture in Isaiah 43:19. It says, behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall ye not know it? I will even make a way in the wilderness, in rivers, in the desert. This scripture came to me when I had failed at ranking up and going to the next level in the network marketing. I was betrayed. I lost my rank. That means I lost money. I failed. I failed as a leader. I failed at promoting. People that lied to me. They told me they was gonna do this and do that. And I cried in a tub. That night, God gave me a dream. I was in a desert and everybody was thirsty. And out of nowhere, in my dream, I seen a water spring. And I was so happy. And I woke up and I researched the scriptures. And this scripture came to me. And don't you know it? Not long after that, I promoted. God was telling me it didn't matter who left you. It don't matter that you're in a drought right now, son. There's a blessing that's on the way. See, God is not thinking about blessing you. He's already moving. Doors are already shifting. Opportunities are already realigning. But He's waiting on you to agree with Him. See, this is your mindset shift moment. This is where the chains break. This is where the generational curses collapse. This is where everything that's been holding you down loses its grip. I dare you to believe your next chapter will make sense of the last one. I dare you to believe you haven't seen your best days yet. I dare you to believe there's more in you than the betrayal, the rejection, and the pain. And if you're ready, if something inside of you knows you cannot keep living like this, I want you to comment the word mindset or click the link below. Don't miss this moment because God didn't bring you this far to just leave you here. Now don't let this go over your head. Straight up.